It's no secret that gaming laptops can run hot, and that's bad because higher temperatures can result in worse performance, a laptop that just feels uncomfortable to use, and even degraded hardware over time. In other words, high temperatures can kill your gaming laptop, and you don't want that. So here are my top 9 hacks to lower the temperatures of your gaming laptop. But first, this part of the video is sponsored by Acer's Predator Helios 18 gaming laptop. Not only do games just look better on a larger 18-inch screen, but the mini LED panel offers stunning visuals with super high brightness and vibrant colors that pop. The swappable WASD keys let you customize your gaming experience. Choose between a snappy mechanical click or a smoother linear press. Powered by up to Intel Core i9-14900HX processor with the latest performance hybrid architecture and Nvidia's RTX 4090 graphics, Acer's Predator Helios 18 is built to dominate the latest games. Not to mention the fresh new design, liquid metal cooling, and latest Wi-Fi 7 connectivity. Level up your gaming experience with the link below. Alright, tip number 1. The first and easiest thing you can do to improve the temps on your gaming laptop is to raise it up at the back. Doing this can lower temperatures quite a bit. In Cyberpunk 2077, this simple change gets us a 6 degrees Celsius drop in GPU temperature and a 4 degree drop on the CPU. This works because most gaming laptops have air intake vents underneath, and by default, there's very little space between the laptop and surface it's sitting on for air to get into the fans. You can use pretty much anything to lift the back up. I like this metal stand because you can fold it up and take it with you. I'll leave a link to it below. Or if you've got a bit more money to spend, you can consider tip number 2, which is using a cooling pad. The basic principle is the same, as they raise the back of the laptop up, but cooling pads also have one or more fans inside to blow air into the laptop. This increase in airflow usually means lower temps compared to the basic stand. Based on my testing, the difference is usually pretty small. In most cases, you get most of the gains by simply raising the back up with a stand, at least with a basic pad with a fan like this one. Higher end pads will perform better, but usually cost more and may be louder. And some laptops actually perform worse with a cooling pad. It depends on their cooling design. For some laptops, it seems like blowing more air up underneath interferes with how the cooling system is meant to operate. This is why I always include thermal tests with and without a cooling pad in all of my laptop reviews. So you can check those out to see how a specific gaming laptop model performs with a cooling pad and decide if it's worth buying one. Now, it's worth noting that if your gaming laptop is severely thermal throttling, then using a stand or cooling pad won't actually lower the temperatures. The CPU and GPU will be able to make use of that extra headroom and turn it into better performance, so your laptop will perform better. You just might not see a drop in terms of the temperature. But don't worry, we've still got 7 more tips to get through. Air can only get inside your gaming laptop if it has a clear pathway. So my third tip is to clean the air vents and fans regularly. Dust accumulates over time with usage, and dust makes it more difficult for air to get through the system, and it also insulates the components that it sits on, making it harder for heat to get out of there. So yeah, dust bad. To clean properly, you're going to need to take the bottom panel off of your laptop. After disconnecting the battery, clear any dust from the ventilation holes on the bottom, sides, and back, as well as from the fans. You can use compressed air or a soft brush. Just hold the fans gently in place so they don't spin. How often you need to do this depends on how much you use your laptop and how clean your environment is. But generally speaking, once every 6 to 12 months is probably fine for most people. If you live in a dustier environment, you could also try using an air purifier to keep the air clean. Your lungs will probably thank you too. Alright, with the basics covered, tip number 4 dives into software, starting with trying different performance modes. Most gaming laptops have different performance modes built in, ranging from low to high. Basically, these limit how much power the CPU and GPU get, which in turn affects performance, but also how much heat is produced. Higher performance modes usually have higher maximum fan speeds too, so higher modes will also run louder with more fan noise. Many modern gaming laptops have maximum CPU and GPU temperature limits you can set, which makes controlling temperatures much easier. But of course, lower performance will be expected. That's just the compromise. But that's why we've got tip number 5, customizing your fan speed. Faster fans are able to move more air through your laptop's cooler, making it run better. Now, you could just max out the fans to get the best results. In this example, doing so lowered GPU temperature by almost 8 degrees Celsius. But the compromise is a much louder laptop. Honestly, laptop fan noise isn't too bad if you've got noise-cancelling headphones. But for everyone else, you're going to want to try and tune the fan curve. You want to get the fan somewhere where you can deal with the amount of noise they're producing, temperatures are acceptable, and performance is good. It's a balancing act between those three, and it comes down to your personal preference. Different people have different tolerances for total amount of fan noise and how hot the laptop gets. So you'll have to experiment with changing your fan speeds and find out what works best for you. Another thing worth trying is tip number 6, limiting FPS in games. By default, your gaming laptop's CPU and GPU work as hard as possible to produce as much FPS as they can. And while that's great for optimal performance, running at full power also means maximum heat. Depending on the game you're playing and settings in use, you might be able to cap the frame rate a little and still have the game running just fine while also lowering temperatures. Many games have frame rate limits in the settings, or you can set global frame rate limits through NVIDIA Control Panel or AMD's Adrenalin software. For example, in Cyberpunk 2077, I was able to reduce GPU temperature by almost 9 degrees Celsius by limiting FPS to 60. Of course, it's not as high as the 100 FPS or so that's possible without the frame cap, but it's definitely cooler and still plays well. This is just one game. Results will vary depending on the specific game and how CPU or GPU heavy it is. So again, you'll need to experiment and find out what works well for you. In a similar vein, with tip number 7, you can try and lower the graphical settings of the game, and that's for the same reason. Lower settings are generally less resource intensive, so try lowering things like texture quality, shadows, and lighting, for example. You want to try and find a good balance between performance and visuals. Granted, I didn't find this to make too much difference in Cyberpunk 2077 on my test laptop. Low settings is less GPU intensive, but only a degree lower in terms of temperature. But low settings boosts the frame rate from 54 FPS in Ultra to 98 FPS, because by default, the hardware tries to deliver the maximum FPS possible. So with your newly found higher frame rate due to lower setting levels, you've now got more room to play with in terms of an FPS cap. Of course, at the expense of some visual quality from turning the settings down. I experimented with DLSS on balanced mode, but didn't find that to make a meaningful difference to temperatures, though it did increase average FPS by 60% from 54 to 86. So with the higher FPS, you could then add on the frame cap to lower temps. If those tips haven't helped yet, then consider tip number 8, which is changing the thermal paste. Thermal paste is the goop that sits between the cooler and your laptop's CPU and GPU. Its purpose is to transfer heat out from the heat generating components to the cooling system, but over time it can dry out and become less effective. Not only that, but cheaper gaming laptops often use cheaper thermal paste, which just isn't as effective. So replacing with some higher quality thermal paste can improve thermal conductivity, which may improve performance or lower temperatures. If your laptop already has good thermal paste inside, then changing it probably won't make any difference. But I've seen people report 10 to 20 degrees Celsius drops by changing the thermal paste, potentially even more if going to liquid metal. I cover how to change your thermal paste and suggest some good quality paste options at about 31 minutes into my laptop upgrade guide video. So check that out if you need a guide. As we continue to get into the more advanced options, we've got tip number 9, which is additional performance tuning with undervolting. The idea with undervolting is that you're limiting how much power the hardware gets. Now, it still performs the same, just with less power. The amount that you can actually undervolt your hardware depends on the silicon lottery, aka luck. Basically, CPUs are given voltage that Intel and AMD deem stable to the majority of processors they ship. But in most cases, you can actually lower the voltage to lower thermals without reducing performance. The potential downside of undervolting is you might run into instability issues, like applications crashing or even blue screens in Windows. Things just get a bit unstable if you take away power that's required by hardware to operate. So you need to play around with it and find that sweet spot where there isn't going to be a problem and everything remains stable with the workloads that you're running on your hardware. Some laptops have undervolting support built right into the control panel software, while others need to first enable it through the BIOS, and then use software like Intel XTU or Throttle Stop. And there are plenty more things that you can do to improve your gaming laptop. Check out my top 9 gaming laptop hacks in 2 minutes over here next.